The mirror is not lying to you, but it might not be telling the full story either. At some point in life, many people begin to notice a quiet change in their reflection. The face looks slightly more tired than it used to. The skin no longer reflects the same brightness. The energy that once appeared naturally in the eyes seems a little less obvious. Because of this, many people jump to the same conclusion. They assume aging has simply taken over and that nothing can really change the direction of how they look. But that explanation leaves out something important. In dermatology and behavioral science, researchers have repeatedly observed a fascinating pattern. Two people can be the exact same age, yet look very different. One appears vibrant, energetic, and youthful. The other looks noticeably older than their years. This difference often surprises people because it cannot be explained by genetics alone. The real explanation frequently comes down to a handful of small daily habits. These habits quietly influence how the skin behaves, how facial features appear, and how much vitality a person projects to the world. What makes this discovery interesting is that most of these habits are simple. They do not require expensive cosmetic procedures or complicated routines. Instead, they involve small grooming decisions that shape how the body presents itself over time. In this video, we are going to break down 8 grooming mistakes that can make someone look older than they really are. These habits may seem harmless, but over time they influence the biological signals that determine how youthful or tired a person appears. If you enjoy learning practical ways to improve your health, appearance, and confidence, subscribe to the channel and stay with us as we explore the science behind everyday habits. Let's begin with the first mistake because it directly affects the very foundation of your skin. The first grooming mistake that quietly makes people appear older is neglecting proper skin hydration. Many people think of skin as a simple outer covering for the body, but in reality, it is one of the most complex organs we have. Skin constantly repairs itself, replaces damaged cells, and protects the body from environmental stress. The outermost layer of the skin, called the stratum corneum, acts as a protective barrier. Its job is to keep moisture inside the body while shielding internal tissues from pollution, bacteria, and harsh environmental conditions. When this protective barrier loses hydration, something subtle begins to happen. The surface of the skin changes its texture. Instead of appearing smooth and evenly reflective, the skin begins to look rough and uneven. Light stops bouncing across the surface in a uniform way. That is one of the reasons dehydrated skin often appears dull and tired. Dermatology research shows that hydration plays a major role in maintaining the appearance of youthful skin. When the skin contains enough moisture, it maintains elasticity and flexibility. Fine lines appear softer because the surface of the skin remains plump and smooth. But when hydration is consistently neglected, the opposite occurs. Small lines become more noticeable. The surface of the skin loses its natural glow. The face starts to carry subtle visual signals that the brain interprets as fatigue or aging. The surprising part is that maintaining hydration does not require a complicated routine. Drinking adequate water throughout the day supports the body's internal hydration balance. At the same time, using a basic moisturizer helps reinforce the skin barrier and prevent moisture from escaping. These small actions may seem simple, but when practiced consistently, they make a noticeable difference in how the skin reflects health and vitality. Now that we understand how hydration affects skin quality, the next grooming mistake may seem surprising because it involves something many people believe is beneficial. The second grooming mistake is overwashing the face. Clean skin is important, but excessive cleansing can actually disrupt the skin's natural balance. Human skin naturally produces a protective oil known as sebum. Many people view oil on the skin as something negative, but in reality sebum plays an important biological role. It helps seal moisture inside the skin while forming part of the body's natural defense system. When someone washes their face too frequently, especially with strong soaps or harsh cleansers, they strip away this protective oil layer. At first, the skin may feel extremely clean, but shortly afterward the skin begins reacting to the disruption. It may become dry, irritated, or inflamed. In some cases, the body tries to compensate by producing even more oil to replace what was removed. Dermatologists often describe this process as a cycle of irritation. The more aggressively someone cleans their skin, the more unstable the skin barrier becomes. Over time, this instability can lead to redness, uneven texture, and increased sensitivity. These signals contribute to the tired and aged appearance many people notice when they look in the mirror. Most dermatology experts recommend washing the face twice per day. Once in the morning to remove sweat and oils produced during sleep, and once in the evening to remove dirt, pollution, and sunscreen accumulated throughout the day. Using a gentle cleanser rather than harsh soap allows the skin to remain clean while preserving its natural protective balance. Once people correct this habit, they often notice that their skin begins to appear calmer, smoother, and healthier. Now that we have discussed hydration and cleansing, we need to examine one of the most powerful external forces influencing how skin ages. The third grooming mistake is ignoring sun protection. Sunlight is essential for life. It helps regulate the body's internal clock and supports vitamin D production. However, prolonged exposure to ultraviolet radiation can significantly accelerate the aging process of the skin. Dermatologists use the term photoaging to describe this effect. Photoaging refers to structural damage that occurs when skin is repeatedly exposed to ultraviolet radiation over long periods of time. Ultraviolet rays penetrate the skin and gradually break down collagen and elastin. These two proteins are responsible for maintaining the firmness and flexibility of the skin. When collagen fibers begin to degrade, the skin loses its ability to maintain smooth structure. Wrinkles become more visible. Pigmentation changes may appear. The skin can also lose elasticity, which contributes to sagging or uneven tone. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, a large percentage of visible skin aging is not caused by time alone, but by cumulative sun exposure. This means the small daily choices people make about sun protection can influence how their skin appears years into the future. Applying sunscreen before spending time outdoors helps shield the deeper layers of the skin from ultraviolet damage. Wearing hats or seeking shade during peak sunlight hours also reduces cumulative exposure. These simple protective habits help preserve collagen and maintain the structural integrity of the skin. Now that we have explored the science of skincare, we are going to shift our attention to another powerful influence on appearance. The fourth grooming mistake is neglecting hair maintenance. Hair plays a major role in framing the face. It influences how facial features are highlighted and how overall grooming is perceived by others. When hair becomes dry, uneven, or poorly maintained, it sends subtle visual signals that the brain interprets as fatigue or neglect. Healthy hair reflects light naturally, giving it a vibrant appearance. Damaged hair, on the other hand, often looks dull because the outer cuticle layers have become rough. Regular trimming helps remove damaged ends and maintain the shape of the hairstyle. Conditioning treatments restore moisture and allow hair strands to maintain flexibility and shine. Another important factor many people overlook is choosing a hairstyle that complements facial shape. A well-chosen hairstyle can highlight cheekbones, balance facial proportions, and create a more structured overall appearance. Even small improvements in hair care can dramatically influence how someone looks in everyday life. Now that we have covered hydration, cleansing, sun protection, and hair maintenance, we move into a grooming area that can dramatically shape how the face is perceived, especially for men. The fifth grooming mistake that quietly makes many people look older is poor facial hair management. Facial hair has a powerful effect on how the structure of the face appears. When it is properly maintained, it can enhance the jawline, add balance to facial proportions, and create a sharper, more confident look. But when facial hair grows unevenly or without structure, it can do the exact opposite. Many people allow their beard to grow without paying attention to shape, boundaries, or density. Over time, the beard spreads across the neck, cheeks, and jawline in an unstructured way. Instead of highlighting the face, it hides it. When facial hair lacks definition, the brain often interprets that signal as fatigue or neglect. The jawline appears softer. The neck blends into the beard line. The entire lower face can look heavier and less structured. Professional barbers often emphasize 3 simple principles when managing facial hair. The first principle is maintaining a consistent length. Uneven beard length creates a messy appearance that distracts from the natural shape of the face. The second principle is defining the neckline. The neckline should generally follow the natural contour beneath the jaw, rather than spreading downward across the neck. When the beard grows too far down the neck, the face appears shorter and less defined. The third principle is maintaining clean cheek lines. When the edges of the beard along the cheeks are trimmed carefully, they help frame the face and emphasize the bone structure. When these small details are maintained, facial hair becomes an advantage rather than a distraction. Instead of hiding the jawline, a well-shaped beard enhances it. Many people are surprised by how much younger and sharper they look after simply refining their beard structure. Now we move to another grooming habit that many people underestimate, even though it strongly influences how youthful someone appears. The sixth grooming mistake is ignoring dental hygiene. Human beings are highly sensitive to signals related to health and vitality. One of the first places the brain looks for these signals is the smile. Teeth play a powerful role in social perception. When teeth appear stained, neglected, or unhealthy, observers often associate those visual signals with aging or declining health. Dental professionals consistently emphasize that oral hygiene affects both physical health and personal appearance. Plaque naturally forms on the surface of teeth throughout the day. If it is not removed regularly through brushing and flossing, it begins to harden into tartar. Tartar can cause staining, gum irritation, and long-term dental damage. When dental hygiene is neglected, the effects slowly accumulate. Teeth may appear yellowed. The gums can become inflamed. Breath freshness may also decline. These signals may seem small, but they strongly influence how a person is perceived during conversation or when they smile. On the other hand, clean and healthy teeth reflect light more effectively. This brightness enhances facial expressions and creates a sense of vitality. When people feel confident about their smile, they tend to express themselves more freely. That natural expression of confidence often makes them appear more energetic and youthful. Maintaining dental hygiene does not require complicated steps. Brushing twice per day, flossing regularly, and attending periodic dental cleanings help maintain oral health and preserve the brightness of the smile. Now that we have covered grooming habits related to the face, we move to something that affects the entire body and how a person carries themselves. The seventh grooming mistake is neglecting posture. Posture rarely appears in discussions about grooming, yet it dramatically influences how someone looks. When posture collapses, the shoulders roll forward and the head tilts downward. This position compresses the chest and neck area. Over time, the body begins to appear less energetic and less confident. Poor posture can also create visual effects that make someone look older. The neck appears shorter. The chin moves forward. The jawline becomes less defined. Biomechanics research shows that posture affects how muscles support the spine and shoulders. When the body aligns properly, the muscles surrounding the spine distribute weight more efficiently. Standing upright with relaxed shoulders allows the neck to extend naturally. This creates clearer definition between the chin and neck, which enhances the overall appearance of the face. Posture also affects breathing and circulation. When the chest is open and the spine is aligned, the lungs can expand more easily. Improved oxygen flow influences energy levels and facial expression. Someone standing with upright posture tends to appear more alert, more confident, and more youthful than someone with a slouched stance. Correcting posture does not require complicated training programs. Often it begins with awareness. Becoming conscious of how you sit, stand, and walk allows the body to gradually retrain its muscle memory. Over time, maintaining balanced posture becomes natural. This small adjustment alone can transform how someone presents themselves to the world. Finally, we arrive at the eighth and final grooming mistake, and it may be the most powerful one of all. The eighth grooming mistake is chronic sleep neglect. Sleep is one of the most important biological processes in the human body. During sleep, the body performs essential repair work at the cellular level. Skin cells regenerate. Hormones that support tissue repair are released. The brain resets its chemical balance. The body restores its internal rhythms. When sleep becomes consistently shortened or disrupted, the body begins showing visible signs of strain. The first place these signals often appear is the face. Dark circles may form beneath the eyes. The skin can begin to look dull or uneven. The eyes themselves may appear tired or less focused. Sleep researchers have conducted studies where participants were asked to evaluate photographs of well-rested individuals and sleep-deprived individuals. The results were remarkably consistent. Observers rated sleep-deprived individuals as less healthy, less attractive, and noticeably older. This perception occurs because the body reveals internal stress through visual signals. When someone receives enough restorative sleep, the body has time to repair cellular damage accumulated during the day. The skin appears clearer. The eyes look brighter. Facial muscles relax and regain natural tone. Adequate sleep also supports hormone balance, which influences inflammation levels, skin repair, and energy regulation. Over time, consistent sleep patterns can significantly improve how youthful and energized someone appears. What makes these 8 grooming mistakes so interesting is how simple the solutions actually are. Hydration supports skin elasticity and brightness. Balanced cleansing protects the skin barrier. Sun protection preserves collagen and prevents long-term structural damage. Hair maintenance frames the face and enhances natural features. Facial hair management sharpens the jawline and maintains structure. Dental hygiene supports both health and confident expression. Posture improves physical presence and body alignment. Sleep allows the body to repair and restore itself at the cellular level. Each of these habits sends signals to the body about how it should maintain itself. When those signals are positive and consistent, the body responds in powerful ways. Skin becomes clearer. Eyes appear brighter. Movement becomes more confident. The face reflects vitality rather than fatigue. From the outside, these changes can sometimes look like a dramatic transformation. People often assume that expensive treatments or cosmetic procedures must be responsible. But in many cases, the real difference comes from small daily habits repeated consistently over time. The human body constantly adapts to how it is treated. When daily habits support the body instead of stressing it, the natural version of you begins to appear. Not a version created by filters or digital editing. Just the result of a healthy biological system working the way it was designed to. And that natural version of you almost always looks younger, healthier, and more confident than most people expect. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to like the video and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And if you enjoy practical discussions about health, confidence, and the science behind everyday habits, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos.